Famous Stefan Melcone, also known as DoctorBass, everyone better known perhaps to some. Here with NYX, because pretty cool bike you put together. Can you tell me a little bit about the bike and about the controller you used?
Yeah, in fact this is a prototype bike, so I'm using two of the Adaptto controller. This is just to show how extreme this kind of installation can be. Controller, the Adaptto controller, you know, they are quite powerful. The new version is up to 14 kilowatt of power. So on that bike, I just wanted to install two of these to show how strong the frame can be. Because 14 kilowatt on a bicycle, 2 times, it's just crazy. It's just like the next project I built, and it's for me a way to continue increasing all these kind of electric bicycle extreme. So what I like about the Adaptto, especially, is that it's like they took all the interesting features of all the existing controller, but they added also some more feature, like the capacity to charge from any kind of voltage sources from 24 volt up to 90 volt. So you don't need a special power supply, a special charger to charge your battery. You can use just a normal power supply. You just need to be 24 volt or more. So these controllers have a lot of features for the timing also. So which means if you use a different motor, you will have different configuration with the Hall sensor. What you can do is auto adjust use the auto adjust feature on the controller to have the connections that will be automatically the sequence that will be automatically arranged, so the motor is in the perfect tuning relative to the timing and for the torque and the speed over all the speed range the motor can be. So you can fine-tune every single parameter you can imagine. It's for the BMS, for the traction control. When I mean traction control, I mean if you don't want your wheel to slip on a icy surface or sand, you can activate traction control and have different parameters to that, so it will just keep better traction and avoid you to have accident with your bike. What I like is 14 kilowatt for a controller is just extreme. You can use the power you want. If you have 14 kilowatt, you can program it to 10 kilowatt if you want. You can program it to 2 kilowatt, but it will handle up to 14. If you want different version because you have a smaller bike, you want to have lower weight, you have different version here. This is the actual size of the controller. Okay, I have one here. This is the 14 kilowatt. You see here, this is exactly the same size. So they offer the 8 kilowatt here and the 4 kilowatt. So the 4 kilowatt is using 6 MOSFET. This one is using, I think it's 9 MOSFET, and this one is 18 MOSFET. So you can drive up to 160 to 170 battery amp, up to 350 to 400 phase amp. So you can use about any motor with these. By installing these on this frame, it's allowing me to test this frame for really high power and high torque. For example, on this wheel here, I've measured and calculated the torque of that wheel is 238 foot-pound of torque. This is awesome. This is incredible. So I need an axle that is strong to handle that torque, and also the swing arm. This frame from Nick's bike have kind of proprietary torque arm that is designed to handle the torque using a steel piece here, and it will transmit all that torque to the aluminum part here on the longer distance, which reduce the force on the edges. So it's a really neat design, and it's easy to disassemble the wheel, replace, and install it back in less than 1 minute. So this is nice for that. The swing arm also can be adjusted for different width according to what kind of tire, what kind of motor you have. You can use the suspension that you want. These are the brackets that you can reverse to allow a different rear chuck. And also it's all made of carbon fiber, and it's pretty strong right at the place where it's important. Here it's lightweight, here it's strong, there's a higher thickness of carbon fiber. So what I will do with that bike, once it's finished tuning, it will be the equivalent of 32 kilowatt, because I'm using this controller at a little bit more than 14 kilowatt. It's 16 kilowatt. What I will do is try to drag race Tesla Model S on the 1/8 of a mile, which means 200-meter racetrack. And I'm pretty confident I will be able to. The most complicated thing will be to get the front wheel to keep traction. But for that, I will use the great feature on the controller that allow me to keep the wheel just on the right traction, on the right phase current to avoid it to slip. So I will keep the maximum torque I can get from both controller. So the Adaptto controller, when you buy these, they come with a display, and you can program everything on the controller and on the BMS using the same display. You don't need any computer. You'll probably see here there's a USB cable, so you can plug your cell phone or your tablet, charge it or to use it for the GPS or something like that. This is a 5-volt supply. And also when you buy the kit, I will just show you all the components that you get with the controller. So you get the display here. This is the device that programs everything. BMS here. So this is a little circuit board that connects to the controller here. This is all IP65 connections. So they are waterproof. You will not have any problem with bad contact or corrosion. And all using kind of silicone wires, 10 gauge wires, which is just the right size for all that current. And also this controller is using 18 state-of-the-art MOSFET. These are, I think, 1.9 million conduction MOSFET, which means they will dissipate 4 times less heat than the famous 4110 that other controllers are using. So for the same power, it will be 4 times less heat. That's why you don't need any fins on this one. So MOSFET are on this side, and all the rest of the circuit are mounted right here. So it's lightweight, it's about 1 kilogram, and it can fit easy on any kind of bike frame. You have different lengths for different power. So this is the new controller, 14 kilowatt from Adaptto, and believe me, for all my experience, I have an electric bike. I've used a lot of different controllers, including Kelly, Crystalite, Lion, and I will definitely adopt this controller for all the next build I will do. I believe in all their function and their reliability. These are really nice. I love the feature for the special tuning that you can do, and well, I would love to everybody to discover these kind of features. These are definitely a nice product, as well as the next bike frame too. So thank you very much, guy, and thank you for watching.